A very good day to you. It's just wonderful to be with you again. I want to speak to you about a personal God. You know, sometimes people say to me, you know, Angus, I don't want to pray to God and ask Him for to undertake for me because He's got so many people on the line. There's so many people who want to talk to Him. Folks, the Lord loves us individually. When He created you, He knows everything about you. Do you know that your fingerprint, your handprint is unique? There's not another person on the face of this earth who's got the same as you. He made us individually. He knows us. He hears our voice when we call. You mean to tell me, Angus, in amongst the millions and billions of people, He can hear my voice? Yes, He can. He's a personal God. Isn't that wonderful? Let's go to the book of Mark, chapter 5, and I'm just going to read one verse for you. Mark chapter 5 and verse 30. And Jesus, now He's walking through the crowd, folks, okay? People are pushing Him from all sides. Jairus' little daughter is sick and dying. He's trying to get to Jairus' house. People are pulling Him from all over. The disciples are trying to shelter Him. And then He turns around and He says, "Who touched me?" I mean, it sounds ridiculous. The disciples even said, "Come on, Lord, people are pushing you from all over." No. Somebody specifically called on me. Look here, verse 30. And Jesus, immediately knowing in Himself that power had gone out of Him, turned around in the crowd and said, "Who touched my clothes?" You see, what had happened was there was a woman with an issue of blood. She'd spent all her money on doctors. She'd been bleeding internally for 12 years. But she said to herself, if I can just touch the hem of His garment, I will be healed. And she pushed through the crowd, the jostling crowd, and she touched the Master's garment. And as she touched His garment, she was healed instantly. And Jesus turned around and said, "Who touched me?" I want to say to you that it doesn't matter how small your prayer is, it doesn't matter how long it is, it doesn't matter how loud you speak or how quietly you whisper. The Lord hears you. Why? Because He lives inside you. You know, I watched a National Geographic program documentary of these penguins. I think they're penguins down at the Antarctic. There are literally hundreds of thousands. And they lay these big eggs, and the males have to incubate those eggs right through winter, and the mothers go and hunt for fish. And they stand together, hundreds of thousands, close, obviously to keep warm. And there's these gale force winds, and it's minus 40, 50, 70 degrees below. And then the mothers come up 6 months later when the little babies are there, and they come up to each and individual penguin and they find their baby. How do they do that? I mean, all you can hear is just a mass of sound. And they start coming out of the sea, thousands of them, hundreds of thousands, and each one goes to its own baby. Is that not incredible, folks? Now, I want to tell you, Jesus Christ is like that. They tell me that a mother, and moms, you can confirm this, they can go to a children's party, and they can all be sitting inside like moms do, chatting away, drinking tea, and one child out in the playground falls down and starts crying. The mother of that baby will stand up straight away and say, "Excuse me." How does she know? Because she spends time with that child. She produced that child. The child grew up in the home. She knows the sound. Now, God created you in His own image. So when you call to Him, I don't care if there's billions of people praying to Him at the same time, He will hear your voice. Why? Because He loves you, because He died for you, and because He wants you to be with Him in heaven one day. So I'm encouraging you. Call unto the Lord and let Him hear your prayers, and He will answer you. And He will show you great and mighty things of which you do not know. Until next time, goodbye.